What's good, YouTube? Introduce yourself.
My name is David Flores.
And what do you just do?
I made third place at the Houston Regional.
With what deck?
Brilliant Monarch.
I see it laid out nicely in a way we've never seen before, thanks to this man, article writer.
Hi.
Want to introduce yourself as well?
Johnny Lee. I just came back to Yu-Gi-Oh.
And let's get into this deck and theory.
Okay, do the deck first. I'll talk about the deck and you can talk about the rounds after. Okay, so well, let me talk about it first. So this first stack is our starter cards, and we're kind of coming from this, approaching this from the angle of Pat Hoban's framework of deck building, where we don't see cards as monsters, spells, and traps, but more the roles they serve in a deck. And so we're going to start with starter cards. We usually want at least 11, 12 of them. 14 is usually the ceiling number for that. So we have Brilliant Fusion, Tenacity, Pantheism, Red Layers, and the 3 Mithra. We do 3 Mithra over Idea and Eidos because it's just like the best starter card. It's a floodgate as well because you activate it and it floodgates BA. It also gives you the additional tribute summon. Like it just does so many things that Idea and Eidos don't do. Like it's not a bad draw, whereas the other two are.
All right.
So those are our starter cards. Next up, these cards are what we call superior extenders. Superior extenders, they can't play straight from the hand. At least it would be incorrect to play them straight from the hand on your first turn typically. But what they do is they kind of bring your game up to like the next level because obviously you're not going to do anything if you just summon Mithras all day. You need to actually make some plays. So superior extenders kind of flesh out your combos, and they're usually cards that, as you can see here, like Instant Fusion, make it much easier to play, but are not difficult to activate or resolve. And the reasoning on the 3 Instant Fusion is, and this one's really a shout out to Patrick. We reviewed all the types of main decks you could have. You could have 3 Max C, which is good going second. You could have 3 Twin Sister, which is good going second. But in the end, we figured Instant Fusion is the only version that's good going first and second. And at a regional where the meta is very diverse, because you have a higher ratio of players playing non-meta than you would see at an ARG or official Konami Premier event, it's much more reasonable to be maining an engine that's good going first and second, rather than a card that's amazing going second but terrible going first. So those are superior extenders. All right. And next up, we're going to show what we call additional extenders, and you'll see that there's a lot of them in this deck. And so it's commonly known that Monarch is the deck that builds to brick houses. The Monarch's problem is opening turn, the turn 1 play, just bricking. And that's the colloquial way that we put it. But the more technical way of understanding it is the problem is the deck has too many additional extenders. Those are cards that you cannot activate right away, and cards that also do not combo with your starters right away, but rather they raise the ceiling of your deck, they determine the ceiling of your deck, and they're basically the meat of what your deck's ultimate power level is. And so we'll take a look at that. So Escalation, Double Prime, the Blue Layer, Majesty, 2 Karaz, 3 Ether, 1 Erebus, Domain, and Frost Blast. We'll talk a little bit about some of these choices because they're not entirely standard. The 1 Erebus, it's mainly just because it gets the really good thing that it does. It gets the Monarch spells, traps, Pantheism, Prime to grave. But besides that, you want Ether almost any other time, especially because you're playing multiple Karazes to generate those pluses to make combos. Ether's recycling effect is very good. The recycling effect is actually why you can get away with playing only 1 Majesty. It's searchable by return, and by playing the 1 copy, it's like you're playing infinite copies because you just recycle it over and over and over. That's really Erebus' role, but besides that, it's outclassed by Ether in just about every regard, and for that reason, we just don't want to see it. So it's almost like an engine requirement, like almost. So that's why we play the 1, 3 Ether, because you do want to see it. That's the one that you want to go into. One thing that Pat talked about in Road of the King is that the best cards for a meta deck are the ones that serve dual roles. So like you can have a starter card that's like Mithra, that's a starter card, but it also acts as a floodgate in certain matchups. So you want cards that serve dual roles like that. And in that regard, we like Karaz because Karaz is an additional extender. It raises the ceiling, the power level of your deck, in other words, but it also acts as a superior extender if you're not summoning it off of Ether, but rather if you just open it, you use it as a 1 tribute it, pop your return, so on. So it can double up as a superior extender, apart from being an additional extender. So you just want a lot of cards that do things like that. So like this can also at times be a superior extender. You just open it turn 1 in its game. So yeah, you want cards to double up as rolls. Like another great example, Prime. Prime's an additional extender, but it's also defense, so that's like really cool as well. Frost Blast just comes up a lot because you can't send paintings in Prime every single turn. So you send this, and it's a free backward destruction, and I'm guessing it worked really well for you. And then Domain is at times like a severe extender, but overall it's like an additional.
It still shows up fine, by the way.
Okay, sounds good. All right. All right, let's put those up. So I can see there's a lot of additional extenders, and that's basically the crux of why Monarchs brick so much.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh, the lights just went out. Oh shoot! Wait, let me see my phone.
Geesh, I think they're kicking everybody out. Yeah, kinda.
Can the camera see this?
Yeah, I think they're gonna like cut us out if we want to hurry up with the deck list and just you want to explain in the comments.
Okay, so that last thing is Stormforth. It's basically the deck's defense. Garnet is engine requirement. Basically, like you don't want to see it except in Cyframe. And then Upstart it's its own category. Upstart is Upstart. It's its very own category. All right. Real quick, extra deck.
Oh my god!
Sorry.
Fucking Monarch deck!
All right.
Here we go, please!
Instant fusion. It's amazing with these cards.
Really
Amazing.
weird!
All right.
He's playing Norden. Come on, dog.
This gets Mithra, and it makes Mithra trigger because it activates Engrave. I'll see.
So let's use your extra deck.
Yeah, I'll see is really crucial. Like it's just like there's all these things, all these flips and tricks that you wouldn't see in a standard list. And then lastly, we have our side.
Flips and tricks.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, they're too next level for you, Scott.
This is better than Strike in most
Golding, I wonder who
instances.
started that.
Regeki is for the mirror. Maxi for BA and Cosmo. This is for the mirror, and then the second one's just to make this the odds of seeing this against Cosmo that much higher. And you play the one not because it's actually good in the meta, but because you expect at a regional that the meta has not caught up quickly enough. And of course, Pat talks about this in Road of the King as well. The speed of the Hive as far as catching up. So.
Any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to this badass deck! Now, can we please hit the road? I'm fucking exhausted!
Any shoutouts, man? You're just gonna sit in the back
no!
seat,
Shoutouts
Scott.
to Alistair for getting unbanned today.
Shout out to Card Check, and thanks for the profile.
All right, thanks.